No, I actually, the active communities which Laureus have been heavily involved in, I was involved in with them with BT Sport. Around the same time that Sean was suggesting I come on board with Laureus, so it was just coincidental. So technically I've done similar type work in Ireland, but just with somebody else. But no, the visit I did last year to Cape Town and to Durban was kind of was the bigger involvement that I've had. So I'm kind of sizing up the next possible role within. I'm not sure what area yet, but there's a few ideas being thrown out there. Yeah, they're dangerous for sure. I think I'd be more worried if we're going to Murrayfield. I think it's become a very difficult place to go and play. You've seen the results they've had over the course of the last year, beating Australia there, pushing New Zealand very close, beating England, beating France. So I think what Scotland have to prove is they can go away from home and get the job done too. I think they haven't won an awful lot away from home in Six Nations, and to get the respect we talk about with World Cups, you've got to go and earn that respect by winning in difficult places like Dublin's. Yeah, you know, it's an exciting time to be an Irish supporter at the minute. You know, we have had a lot of barren years. I grew up through a period of the 90s when we won very little. You know, not trophies, but very few games. So to be as competitive as we are, beating some of the teams we're beating more consistently, is where you need to go in building towards that ultimate World Cup cycle. I think you have to be brave. I think you look at where they tried to attack them. I think the wide channel, England have been excellent there, but I think that's also their vulnerability too. If you're willing to throw the pass, I think Jonathan Joseph does a good job of presenting a particular picture, but I don't think if you go into those wide channels, it's as effective as the picture might appear. So, and I thought Scotland pulled that apart brilliantly. They're doing it differently than everyone else. They're super aggressive on the outside, and I think his speed allows them to do that. But it is. For me, it's about presenting that picture, but maybe not, you know, being able to quite back it up. If you are brave, I think it does. Bravery is rewarded, but you've got to be on the money. I think Eddie Jones has stepped over the mark a couple of years ago when he talked about being concerned for Johnny Sexton's parents with his apparent concussion issues. I thought that was overstepping the mark. I think targeting a player and saying that they're going to be putting an awful lot of focus on them, that they're going to be going after them, that they're going to shut down their time. I've no issue with it, provided it doesn't get personal or it's not. It doesn't come from it's not angle based in a nasty capacity.
But make very exciting.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm starting to get into the difficult phase of being a pundit because I never trained or played with Jordan. Whereas lots of the guys I've seen coming through over the last 3 or 4 years, I've been lucky enough to be on a training park with, and you can tell who's got it and who doesn't. So I'm like everyone else. I'm just watching the TV and wondering, how good someone is, whether they've been a little bit lucky or whether they've been a bit fortunate, or whether they've got. Can they read the game as well as as maybe the next guy? But then you talk to some of the boys and they say that he is special, that he gets it pretty quickly. He's the sort of player that would scare you as an old 13 in the winter of your career. That if you saw him coming at you, you'd be looking to play man on instead of drift defence on it. So I'm just so glad that I did retire a few years ago. I didn't see players like him coming through, because he can make an absolute show of you.